Are you looking for the perfect bracelet for a loved one? Would your man be interested in a personalized keyring from his children? Are you looking for the best priced jewelry, whether it be a necklace, ring, earrings, bangle, or even more? Look no further than Crafted Arts. Crafted Arts is a local business based in Barry within the Vale of Glamorgan, and they have a range of all the perfect items you need. If it's for the perfect gift for an anniversary, or maybe it's for someone's birthday, maybe something for Christmas, or you wanted to give someone that perfect gift that will last a long time, Crafted Arts is the business for you. If you want to know more or see what they have in stock, then you can visit them locally at 29 High Street, Barry, Vale of Glamorgan, CF627EB, or you can go onto their website at www.craftedarts.co.uk. You can even email them at info@craftedarts.co.uk, or maybe just give them a call at 077 89 942 48. Trust me, it's worth it for the perfect gift. The best thing about Creative Space is that we don't just want to encourage people in being creative in TV, film, or even theatre. We also want you to be creative in a variety of other things as well. So do you want to have experience in making jewelry? Do you want to pick up a hobby but do not know what to take or where to start? Then look no further than the Vale Jewelry Workshops. Vale Jewelry Workshops provides the best experience in teaching you how to make the best sterling silver jewelry. They will help you make a range of silverware, including rings, bracelets, and many more pieces. You will learn the basic silversmith skills such as soldering, texturing, shaping, and lots more. Not only do the workshops provide the experience for adults, it also provides the best experience and fun for children as well. So if you want to learn on how to make sterling silver jewelry, and if you're very interested, go onto their website at www.valejewelryworkshops.co.uk or get in touch with them via email at info@valejewelryworkshops.co.uk or even phone them at 07789 794248. Happy Halloween, everybody! How's it going? My name is Rhys of Creative Space Podcast, and I am your host truly once again here. And my special guest on today's podcast for this special Halloween episode is none other than Dee Wallace. Dee Wallace and I, we sit down to talk about her self-creation, her expertise in self-creation, how do we define ourselves as spiritually, how do we channel ourselves, how do we go about in getting stuff that we want. And it's all to do with her self-creation expertise. Now, Dee is a sixth-time author. Her brand new book has just come out. It's called Born. Guys, you have to go and read it. Just go and get it on Amazon. Look it up on Dee Wallace's website. You've got to look it up. Now, not only she is an author of self-creation, she's also an actress. She's been in many films, including E.T. the Extra Terrestrial, The Howling. She's been in the Hills of Eyes. She's been in The Frighteners. She's been in so many films. In fact, she's coming up to her 300th TV and film project, but of course we couldn't talk about it because of the strikes. But have no fear, I still questioned her on Steven Spielberg, Joe Dante, and Wes Craven. I questioned her on many other people, including Henry Thomas, just a few people. So there's a fine balance. Now, there's a little bit of a caution here, guys. Now, when I spoke to Dee, this was a technology gone wrong. Well, hopefully, from looking at this podcast, re-looking at it and re-listening, I see no problem. But if you guys point out there's an issue, I do apologize, because when I was trying to speak to Dee, it kept cutting off. We tried doing it on Zoom, and the internet on my end and her end, it was not having any of it. So I really do apologize, guys. So I hope that you still enjoy listening, because between you and I think Dee Wallace is one of the biggest names I've had on my podcast so far, and I have the absolute honor to speak to her because I grew up watching the films that she's been in, and yes, including The Howling and The Hills of Eyes, because my childhood was messed up because I was watching all these horror films. But without further ado, guys, I hope you have a good Halloween, and it's me and Dee Wallace on Creative Space Podcast. my full name is Rhys Dennis Deans. I've had Ryan, I've had Roy, I've had Rhys, and it was funny because I had Rhiannon, and I thought my name's not Rhiannon, but then
Well, it's a beautiful name.
yeah,
It's a movie star name.
yeah, and it's one of the odds, you know. But I can't believe I'm sat here speaking to a legend, an absolute legend.
Thank you.
Yeah, who I've grown up watching so many films that we will get onto, but it's always really interesting to see you do not just films and TV, but do self-creation. And I really want to know more. I did a few research going into what you have written, you have lectured, you have taught people and everything, but I really wanted you to teach me about self-creation. And when I was doing my research, I wanted to know, the first question was, what's the difference between self-creation and self-discovery?
Okay, well, you can discover a lot about yourself, like I discovered I'm a woman. I discovered that I like chocolate. I discovered I liked men. And self-discovery is a part of self-creation, and it's not self-creation. Self-creation is when you actually take responsibility for creating you and your life. And let me start with the basics, and I'll be very quick. Everything is energy. Everything. We learned that in 5th grade. Energy is not positive or negative. Energy is neutral. Energy must be directed in order to take physical form. If you want to make ice, you have to direct the water into the ice tray, direct the ice tray into the freezer. All energy works that same way. And the way that we direct our energy is through our thoughts, our feelings, and our beliefs. Like the good book says, as you believe, it's delivered that way to you, baby. So if you want to change your life, you must change your beliefs around this subject that you are wanting to create. So I was raised in a rather poor religious family in the Midwest. I heard often throughout my childhood, they're the rich people, we're the good people. Which means, of course, if you have a lot of money, you're not a good person. God doesn't love you. People will judge you, and you will not be who we think we want to be. We want to be the good people. Of course, that's based in a lot of old religious teachings that do not serve us at all. We all know a lot of wealthy people. I consider myself one of them. I don't know what your description is of wealth, but compared to what my childhood was growing up, I look at me and I go, I'm pretty wealthy now. And I'm one of the best people I know. I have one of the biggest hearts. I love to share everything that I have with others. And so I had to, first of all, become conscious of that belief. And secondly, I had to choose to redirect that belief so that my energy started focusing on good people make a lot of money, and I'm one of them. So that I could get to this point in my life where I can say that's a reality. But when I booked, the strike is keeping us from talking about specific things. But when I booked this very, 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 very big film a long time ago, I woke up one morning and I went, oh my gosh, I'm them. I'm one of them. And I pulled way back until I realized I didn't have to own that belief, which wasn't my belief originally at all. So that's what, in a nutshell, that's what self-creation is.
Mm. And I was looking into, I mean, there's a few questions here about the love place and why are we, I mean, I find this question, it was sent to me by your assistant. And I thought it was such a good question. And I wanted to know this answer is why are we afraid to ask for what we want? I thought that was such a good question. And I wanted to know from your perspective.
Well, my love, go back to your childhood. How many times were you told, ask for anything you want, honey? Anything, you can have everything you want. Mommy and daddy want to give you everything you want. You just keep asking for everything you want. How many times were you told that?
Let me see. To be honest with you, when I was growing up, I was back and forth with my mum's parents and my parents because my mum and my dad were very young when they had me, and I was told that if you don't ask, you don't get. But sometimes when you do ask, sometimes you don't get, and that's not the fault. And I always believed that growing up, I always believed that never be afraid to ask what you want, but also never be afraid to find out the answer, because when it comes down to it,
all right, let's stop there. That's kind of a mixed message, isn't it?
Yeah, so from your perspective, from hearing my answer, what would you say about my perspective? I'm not too sure with my perspective, to be honest with you.
Well, okay, let's say the universe is a parent. And you say, well, you know, I want a toy gun, but I don't expect to get it. The universe hears that and goes, all right, well, you're not committed to the creation of what you want then. We stand back and we watch our parents not get everything they want or a lot of what they want. And so the message that we get, and by the way, a child's brain is locked in by the age of 8 years old around their belief systems. So whatever you were taught, whatever you were modeled, whatever you erroneously decided for yourself by age 8 is literally what you have built your life on until you realize you are the power that gets to choose another belief, another perspective, another thing to focus on. It's so easy, and yet our little child within us believes that their job is to keep us safe. So what our adult self knows that we want, our little child is going, yeah, but remember, you can't get everything you want. I've got to keep you safe in knowing that. And so what happens is we as adults are literally fighting ourselves around giving ourselves, creating ourselves, manifesting for ourselves what we want.
It's so interesting to hear that because it was making me think. I mean, it's like I want to be a playwright, and I remember going back at the age of 8 that I never even considered wanting to go into writing theatre or do anything like that. But there was always a part of me that always stayed from when I was very young to now was when I've been told no, it's like, well, I'm gonna go out and make my way and do it myself, whether I've been told no or not.
Yeah.
And it's like now, recently I've just put on a play in Cardiff somewhere that, all right, I had help from one or two people, but it's doing it off the back. And I always learned that from when going from the age of 8 to teenage years into now pushing even closer to 30 than I am 20. Then it's like I'm being told no, that I'm going to go out and get it myself, where I have to jump through so many obstacles, go through so many hurdles. I'm going to go out and do it. And I always noticed that when I was 8, just made me have a flashback saying, well, I've been told no, so I'm going to go out and do it myself.
Okay. And you have to work with other energy to create anything. So the formula, which I write out very clearly in my last book, Born, very easy to read, and you'll get it. The formula is you have to know exactly what you want.
Hmm.
You have to commit to it. And then you have to work with the universe, with other energy, to bring it into manifestation. So the channel wants to give you, that's what I do, I channel this page here. Okay. Who taught you that in some way you betray yourself or God betrays you? Who taught you that?
Good question. I would say more like, that is such a good question. It's either down to between two people. It's either my father or my grandfather.
Okay, well, the channel's taking me to your mother, which
Oh,
is oftentimes the way it goes. So when I say you saw your mother creating for herself what she wanted most in life, it goes to no. So did you?
yeah.
You got to see her get what she wanted.
Yes, because what she wanted was to work in mental health and work with people with learning difficulties, and she wanted that, and she got it as well.
Okay, hold on. Are we both balanced? Has anybody switched? Okay, so we're going to follow this
Okay.
because my pendulum keeps saying no, and it's never wrong. So there's something we need to discover here that's going to be a big part of your freedom. Okay, when I say that's the highest thing she wanted, I get a no. And this is so indicative of what I'm talking about. Almost every private session that I do, people think they know what they want, and they don't. It takes us about 10, 15 minutes to get to what they really want. And once they get to what they really want, and what I'm getting, and it usually goes the other way. So this is interesting. What I'm getting is what she wanted was to really stay home with her family.
Mm.
All right, so talk to me about that.
Well, I will be honest. She was 18 when she had me,
Uh-huh.
and when she was 18, my dad was 18 as well, and it was growing up. It was very, I would say, very complex in some ways, because with me, I was always back and forth with either staying with my grandparents on my mother's side or with them too. And it got to the age of, I say maybe 9 or 10 that I myself moved in with my grandparents, because it was very difficult living with my parents at the time. But now it's great. But at the
Yeah, we're
time,
not talking about now, though. We're
yeah,
talking about when you were little.
yeah, little, it was always I wanted to be with my grandparents and not with my parents. I found it more
But
comfortable.
what your mother wanted was to be with her family.
Mm,
And she couldn't create that at that young age. Is that true?
that's true.
Okay. So what happens then is energetically, we're little, we don't know how to reason all this. And so energetically, we say, okay, I can feel that mommy wants to be here with me and she can't get what she wants. So that's the way the world works,
Right.
is we can't get what we want. And that's how we formulate these often very subconscious beliefs. I'll give you one of mine. My grandfather was a very well-known CPA in Kansas City. By the time I came along, he had had 2 major strokes. So all I witnessed was my grandmother taking care of him. My father became a severe alcoholic after the war. All I witnessed was my mother taking care of him. So in my belief system, women had to take care of men. That's the way it was, because that's what was modeled in front of me. And so it took me about 4 major relationships to figure out that I was playing out that belief and taking care of men in different ways. Right? Until I woke up and went, I don't have to create this. What do I want? I want a man who is self-sufficient and financially stable and in good health, and someone who will love and respect me, complete in himself, that can come in and have a relationship with me who is complete in myself, right? So that nobody is taking care of each other. We are creating together. And there's a huge, huge difference. Most of us are not taught that that is the highest definition of what a relationship should be.
So there's the other question as well, and that is, what is the love place and why is it so important? There was that question that was sent to me, and I really wanted to know that answer. What is the love place and why is it so important?
Okay. According to my channel, love is the most powerful tool we have to create with. We never use it that way. We use it as kind of a namby-pamby, soft, squishy little, oh, doesn't that feel good place. So if we're going to create something, we must love it. The channel puts it as whatever you want, love it more. You want more money? Love money. Oh, wow, love money. I don't know about loving money. Love it. Money is the root of all evil and blah, 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 blah. Right? We all know that's BS. We all know that we love money. We all know that we love the freedom of knowing we have more than enough money. And we know it feels good. And yet we're taught not to acknowledge that. So everybody just think of something you want, that you want to create in your life, and how hard you've been trying to create that. and how many actions you've taken around creating that. Okay, now, your love place is anything that opens your heart and makes you smile the minute you think of it. I go to my dog, or my beautiful Hawaii that I love, my newborn grandson. So everybody pick something that opens your heart and puts a smile on your face like that.
You know what?
Great. Now drop down into your heart and just let yourself wallow in that love. Yeah, see, that's what it feels like when you get that thing you want. And the more you can feel into that and live in that space of love for what you want, then you don't, sure, you have to take action, but you don't have to take the action like that, which actually pushes it away. Because when you go into them, I'm going to make this happen, it's going to happen, you actually push it away. Because your brain is going, oh, I see, they don't think this is really possible, that's why they're trying so hard. So
yeah. Sorry, I just cut you off then. What was you going to
no,
say then?
it's okay. Your brain thinks in pictures. If you think of fixing your disease, your brain will see the disease, and whatever you focus on, you create more of. That's brain science.
Have
So
you
what
ever
was
had,
your question?
I was just going to say, right off the cuff was, have you ever had someone say to you, I've got my family, that's all I need? Have you ever had someone say that? And if so, what has been your response to someone saying, well, I've got what I want, I've got my family, got everything that I've asked for, what more can I want? Has anyone ever said that to you?
Well, yes, actually. And I said, oh, actually, it's the channel's response is, okay, so you have your family, and 3 of them come down with a severe case of cancer. But you have your family. Is that all you want? No. You want a healthy family. You want a family that's happy. Okay, so you have your family and you're all living on the street because you're homeless. Is that what you want? No. I want a happy family that has a safe home to live in and enough to eat. And see, that's what I mean. You really do need to know specifically what you want. Not to the point of, I want $1,001.32. No, but you want more than enough to feel free and happy in your life and able to take care of your family, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why you got so many goals, and you got to channel that, and you got to channel that goal.
You have to
I mean,
create it.
yeah,
Yeah.
because
And the more you love it, and the more you love those things you want, the more you magnetize. See, we're electrical beings. They measure our hearts with electrocardiograms. They measure our brains with electroencephalograms. Every thought and feeling we have has an electrical impulse that goes out into the world. The universe reads that electrical impulse, matches it, and sends it back to us as the experience and the reality of our life. So if you want to change your life, you have got to start sending out different electrical impulses, different thoughts, different feelings, different beliefs. Otherwise, you just keep creating the same cycle of things coming back to you, which is another word for karma.
Are you looking for the perfect bracelet for a loved one? Would your man be interested in a personalized keyring from his children? Are you looking for the best priced jewelry, whether it be a necklace, ring, earrings, bangle, or even more? Look no further than Crafted Arts. Crafted Arts is a local business based in Barry within the Vale of Glamorgan, and they have a range of all the perfect items you need. If it's for the perfect gift for an anniversary, or maybe it's for someone's birthday, maybe something for Christmas, or you wanted to give someone that perfect gift that will last a long time, Crafted Arts is the business for you. If you want to know more or see what they have in stock, then you can visit them locally at 29 High Street, Barry, Vale of Glamorgan, CF627EB, or you can go onto their website at www.craftedarts.co.uk. You could even email them at info@craftedarts.co.uk, or maybe just give them a call at 07789 94248. Trust me, it's worth it for the perfect gift. The best thing about Creative Space is that we don't just want to encourage people in being creative in TV, film, or even theatre. We also want you to be creative in a variety of other things as well. So do you want to have experience in making jewelry? Do you want to pick up a hobby but do not know what to take or where to start? Then look no further than the Vale Jewelry Workshops. Vale Jewelry Workshops provides the best experience in teaching you how to make the best sterling silver jewelry. They will help you make a range of silverware, including rings, bracelets, and many more pieces. You will learn the basic silversmith skills such as soldering, texturing, shaping, and lots more. Not only do the workshops provide the experience for adults, it also provides the best experience and fun for children as well. So if you want to learn on how to make sterling silver jewelry, and if you're very interested, go onto their website at www.vailejewelryworkshops.co.uk or get in touch with them via email at info@vailejewelryworkshops.co.uk or even phone them at 07789 794248. I just got to ask this question because it says, so obviously you're an advocate for accepting the power of love, but at your public events, have you ever, when you came out and introduced yourself, has the Power of Love song ever been your introduction music? If not, you should.
I think once, yeah. Usually I come out to I feel good. I knew that I would, because very much the same thing. When you feel good, the world responds. If you walk into a party and this corner is arguing and at each other, and that corner is laughing and having a great time, which one are you going to walk toward? The one who's having a good time, right?
Yeah.
Universe is the same way. They want to play where the fun is.
Exactly. Exactly. Because I want to go out and have a good time, keep smiling, and channel that. And if you're going to do that, you got to do that by self-creating yourself. You got to do that by yourself. You got to go out in the world, and you're the one it's going to make that happen.
You bet. And only you.
I mean, that's
so when I hear, I'm waiting for a sign from God, I'm waiting for a sign from my guides, I'm going, well, you're going to be waiting a long time, because they're waiting for you. They are waiting for you. We were given free will to create on this plane. What do you want? What do you want to create? And then God and the guides and the angels and all the other energy can go, oh, that's what they want. Right? But whether it's positive or negative, energy has to respond. If you put that water in the ice tray and never put it in the freezer, that energy of that water is never going to be ice. But if you do,
yeah,
it will.
So talking about, I know, just raise your hands in the air. It's like, it is what it is.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! There you go. Go out into the world and find it. Find it. It's like, I want to talk about, finding. So your novel Born. So it's your
Yes,
sixth book now. Correct me if I'm wrong, sixth or
yes.
seventh. Right. What is it about? What is it that you're going to encourage someone like me or other people who are listening to go out and get that book? You know, what do we expect when we
Well,
pick up Born?
I would say to you all, if you want to know the formula for creating anything and make it easy and have fun learning it, go pick up Born, because that's what it is. You know, when my channel first started, I said to them, why me? I'm this little girl from Kansas. Why me? And they said, because you're going to be able to explain it so everybody can understand it. And they're right. I mean, I have so much respect for Eckhart Tolle. Cannot get through his book. It's just not how my brain comprehends. I don't, okay, let me put it this way. I know that the simpler things are, the more people embrace them and want to work with them, unless they have a belief that struggle is going to create more for you. And a lot of people have that belief. The more you struggle, the harder you work, the more you deserve to get what you want.
And where can we
it's
find?
just actually a lot of times the opposite.
And where can we find Born? Where can we find it?
You can get Born on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, or at my website, and I'll inscribe it for you. I am deewallace.com.
You
That's
are
a
Dee
tough
Wallace.
one, huh?
You're Dee Wallace, a legend.
No, thank you. I keep trying.
No, but doing it, it's why did you want to go into, very last question on self-creation, but why did you want to get into it so more in depth? Why was it to help other people?
When you find the answer to freedom, you got to share it. I mean, I sharing it in my acting studio, and their lives started to change, and then their parents wanted to work with me, and then their friends wanted to work with me, and 30 years later, here I am doing it all across the world. And you know, I love my acting and would never give it up. My healing work, I could do 24/7. It just fills me up, makes me happy. And, you know, the more I help others, the more is revealed to me also. And the more I expand in my knowing. And that's a pretty exciting thing.
Moving on to it now, I know in terms of the strike, we can't mention films and we can't mention TV shows, etc.
Yeah.
But I want to
Pain
talk
in the
about.
butt, isn't it?
Oh, exactly. But in all fairness, you know, I've spoken to a few actors and actresses who are fighting for it and everything, and good on them. Keep going, fight the good
Hey,
fight.
we're all fighting. We're all
Yeah.
picketing. It's unfortunately something that we don't really, although you always have a choice. If we're going to choose to get what we want and the lives that we deserve, we have to strike. We haven't had a New Deal since the 1960s.
Yeah.
So that being said, we will talk around and everybody will know what we're talking about. Excuse me.
No problem.
Okay.
So, but I want to talk about individuals because, of course, you have worked with some of the famous faces, the names and everything. And I'm there going,
Yeah.
God, what am I doing? And I just think, man, you have been there and done that. But of course, I'm going to mention Steven Spielberg, but I want to know, because you've worked under the likes of Steven Spielberg, Joe Dante, and Wes Craven. Now, these three men, they've directed some of the biggest films that you've been in. But I just want to know from your perspective, what was it like working with all three of them? And what is the difference in those three and how they approach into directing?
I think a higher question would be, how are they similar?
Really? How are they similar?
And this includes Peter Jackson,
Mm.
Louis Teague, Blake Edwards. A really good director is open. He's open to everybody's ideas. They're open to things that happen in the moment on the set. They're open to disagreements. A beginning person incorrectly believes that they have to know exactly what they're going to do. They have to know exactly what the shot looks like and exactly when they're going to cut. And I'm telling you, on every set that I've been on, bar none, the magic has happened when we didn't expect it. Without, again, mentioning the movies, I remember one time and we'd already cut, we were moving on to the next scene, and I happened to just sit there, play the piano. And it was so moving to me to watch and listen to this person that I started tearing up. And the director took one look at me and told everybody to come back. We set up again. And all of that was just to get a big close-up of me listening to the actor play the piano. Cujo, gosh, here I did. I said the name of the film with the dog. You could not plan things out. It was impossible.
No.
There was so much improv going on between the boy and the animal and myself. So much magic. There's one scene where I just lose it with the kid. And the producers came to me the next day and said, we want you to look at this scene because we're afraid people won't like you. So I don't watch the dailies, but I went to see the scene, and I said to my producer with all respect, you're crazy if you cut this scene. There's not a parent in the world who has not felt this emotion. And it ended up being probably the most reviewed scene out of the whole movie in a positive way. One of these tears coming up. And as the character, I thought, oh, I don't want my kids to see me cry. So I got up and left, which was not in the script. And when I explained what had happened to me that created that, because this director was so in the moment and so open to expanding the creation, that added 2 more beats in that particular scene where I end up in this huge emotional close-up. It happens on every single scene, movie that I do. Something happens and we go, oh my God, there's a moment, or somebody did something to me. Oh, and I'll say, oh my gosh, please let me expand on that moment. That's what all really great directors for me have in common. That's why I love working with Rob Zombie. Love working with Rob, because it's like, bring in your best shit. That's Rob. And I love that. It gives the actors so much freedom to, well, turn it over to the character so the character can create. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Now, Hold on one moment. For some weird reason, my signal is going haywire, and I think it's for
We're
some
just
reason.
having a time today, aren't we?
I know we're having a great time. Technology at its finest, people. What are we saying? One moment. Let me just bring you down. Right. Hopefully the signal will be better downstairs. Here we go. I think this will be better now. Maybe not, but I'm just gonna hurry. Well, it's gonna be two last questions anyway. So luckily, we're coming
Okay.
to the end of the podcast anyway. But the two last questions I was gonna say was the first one being Henry Thomas's audition for the film that we can't mention went started
Yes.
trending at one point, and I just wanted to know from your perspective, what was it like to be performing with such, I mean, I know you've worked with so many talented children, but for some reason Henry Thomas and his audition tape was so powerful. I just wanted to know, what was it like working with that particular young actor?
Working with Henry was like working with another adult actor. He he was always there, he was always present, always in the moment, emotionally available. He was a brilliant child actor and is a brilliant adult actor now.
And one of the because you've been in so many horror films in over the years, and
You think?
oh, I know, Thick. I know. We all know. We all know. Indefinitely, we know. But I just wanted to know from your perspective, because there's so
Yeah.
many horror films that have been released this year and the last few years. I just wanted to know, from your perspective, do you think the horror movie genre is getting stronger, or do you think there's something missing with the horror movie genre?
Uh, I think both. And I think one of the greatest challenges is that people like they take all films that are scary and put it under the horror film, but all scary films aren't horror films. We have slasher films, we have end of the world films, right? A good horror film takes a lot of time to develop the characters. A slasher film goes, hi, here's our 6 characters. Watch how we brutally kill each of them. Very different than films from the 80s and even the 90s, where really they take so much time that you're invested in the people that are in harm's way. And also, a real horror film stands for a more important message. Like my movie with a dog was about a mother's love. My movie that had a werewolf in it was about the fight between good and evil. So again, I think those are the two things that really set apart a good horror film from all the other things that are piled into that title.
And Dee, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me on Creative Space Podcast. And it was, technology is not our best friend today for some weird reason, but I just wanted to finish off with one question that I always ask my guests, and that is, how do you look back on your career?
With awe. I look back and I go, wow, I always knew what I wanted and I created it, and the universe was with me every step of the way.
Are you looking for the perfect bracelet for a loved one? Would your man be interested in a personalized keyring from his children? Are you looking for the best priced jewelry, whether it be a necklace, ring, earrings, bangle, or even more? Look no further than Crafted Arts. Crafted Arts is a local business based in Barry within the Vale of Glamorgan, and they have a range of all the perfect items you need. If it's for the perfect gift for an anniversary, or maybe it's for someone's birthday, maybe something for Christmas, or you wanted to give someone that perfect gift that will last a long time, Crafted Arts is the business for you. If you want to know more or see what they have in stock, then you can visit them locally at 29 High Street, Barry, Vale of Glamorgan, CF627EB, or you can go onto their website at www.craftedarts.co.uk. You could even email them at info@craftedarts.co.uk, or maybe just give them a call at 07789 94248. Trust me, it's worth it for the perfect gift. The best thing about Creative Space is that we don't just want to encourage people in being creative in TV, film, or even theatre. We also want you to be creative in a variety of other things as well. So do you want to have experience in making jewelry? Do you want to pick up a hobby but do not know what to take or where to start? Then look no further than the Vale Jewelry Workshops. Vale Jewelry Workshops provides the best experience in teaching you how to make the best sterling silver jewelry. They will help you make a range of silverware including rings, bracelets, and many more pieces. You will learn the basic silversmith skills such as soldering, texturing, shaping, and lots more. Not only do the workshops provide the experience for adults, it also provides the best experience and fun for children as well. So if you want to learn on how to make sterling silver jewelry, and if you're very interested, go onto their website at www.valejewelryworkshops.co.uk or get in touch with them via email at info@valejewelryworkshops.co.uk, or even phone them at 07789 794248.